Ellen Ochoa was born on May 10, 1958 in Los Angeles, California. Ellen Ochoa received her Master of Science and doctorate degree at Stanford University. She was selected by NASA in 1990 and in 1991 and became the world's first Hispanic female astronaut. She was a mission specialist and flight engineer. Ochoa is a veteran of 4 space flights, logging more than 950 hours in space. She currently lives in Texas with her family. As said before, Ellen Ochoa was born in 1958 in Los Angeles and is one of 5 children of Joseph and Roseanne Ochoa. Joseph Ochoa was a retail store manager and Roseanne Ochoa was a homemaker. Ellen grew up mostly in La Mesa, California. Joseph, her father, was born and raised in Arizona to immigrant parents from Mexico and was one of 12 children. Ellen didn't know her grandparents as they were already in their 80s when she was born, but certainly their hard-working immigrant values and ambition passed down to Ellen. If they were still alive for Ellen's first space flight, we can be sure they would have felt immensely proud. Roseanne Ochoa, mother of 5, began part-time college studies when Ellen Ochoa was just 1, and thought she could only take 1 class at a time and didn't graduate from college until 22 years later. This example of perseverance inspired Ellen Ochoa to excel in school. Joseph and Roseanne Ochoa divorced when Ellen was in junior high, and Ellen and her 4 siblings lived with their mother. Ochoa was valedictorian of her 1975 graduating class at Grassmere High, offered a 4-year scholarship to Stanford University and Palo Alto near San Francisco. Ochoa chose to study at San Diego State University so that she could be near her 2 younger brothers, still in high school at the time. Early on, Ochoa considered a career in journalism. She took writing, business, and computer science courses before settling on physics as her major. When she graduated in 1980, she was once again the valedictorian of her class. From there, Ochoa entered Stanford University, where she earned both a master's degree in electrical engineering and a doctorate by 1985. While at Stanford, Ochoa met graduate students who were interested in NASA's astronaut training program and realized that she might qualify for it as well. The candidates program had only began accepting women in 1978, and the first Latino astronaut, Rudolph Neary, flew his first space shuttle in 1985. Ochoa applied to the program that same year. After finishing her doctorate, Ochoa began her career as a research engineer at Sandia National Laboratories in Livermore. Ellen was a mission specialist and flight engineer. Ochoa was a veteran of 4 space flights, logging more than 950 hours in space. Her technical assignments have included flight software and computer hardware development and robotics development, testing, and training. She has served as assistant for space station to the chief of the astronaut office, lead spacecraft communicator and mission control, and acting deputy chief of the astronaut office. She currently serves as Director of Flight Crew Operations at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. In the late 1980s, she began working with NASA as an optical specialist. After leading a project team, Ochoa was selected for NASA's space flight program. She made her first flight on the Space Shuttle Discovery in April 1993, becoming the first Hispanic woman astronaut. Her first flight began April 8, 1993 on the orbit of Discovery. She was mission specialist on the STS-56 atmospheric research flight, which was carrying an atmospheric laboratory for applications in science, known as ATLAS-2. She was responsible for the primary payload, the Spartan 201 satellite, and she operated the robotic arm to deploy and retrieve it. The satellite made 48 hours of independent solar observations to measure solar output and determine how the solar wind is produced. Ochoa was the lone female member of the 5-person team, which made 148 orbits of the Earth. Ochoa's technical assignments have also included flight software verification in the Shuttle Avionics Integration Laboratory, where she was crew representative for robotics development, testing, and training, as well as crew representative for flight software and computer hardware development. Ochoa was on the STS-66 Atmospheric Laboratory for Applications of Science 3, ATLAS-3, flight in November 1994. ATLAS-3 continues the Spacelab flight series to study the sun's energy during an 11-year solar cycle. The primary purpose of this is to learn how changes in the irradiance of the sun affects the Earth's environment and climate. On this mission, Ochoa was payload commander. Now she was currently based at the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, as said before.